Hello, how are you? I'm Tony, and this channel is Little Wins. And for my channel, I discuss the real life way I live with Parkinson's disease and cervical dystonia. So today's subject we're going to talk about is the financial burden of Parkinson's disease. Now, if you've been diagnosed or someone you know has been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, they may or may not yet have come to the point where they're not allowed to work. In most states, it's illegal to drive, which means that it's illegal to operate machinery. They fall down. We fall down as patients. I have a shaky voice from a tremor. We do have tremors. We drop things. We have a hard time with motor skills and certain motor skills. Sometimes I can't open simple things, and sometimes I can. And there's also some dementia with Parkinson's. And it varies from person to person, walking differently, doing things differently. But if you've come to the point where you're not working or won't be able to work, that's a scary point. You've come to a scary place. Not only has everything else changed in your life, from brushing your hair, teeth, showering, dressing, buttoning your own shirt, not only have all those things changed, your financial system, your financial security is likely changing or about to change. For me, that's also the case. I am not working. I can't manage doing tasks for more than 10 minutes if I'm standing up, or more than 20 minutes sitting down before my tremors get worse and my body starts getting rapidly exhausted. Even sitting with the video is hard. So for these things, there's so many different ways to handle it. For me, I was an only parent to a boy, and I still live with him and his wife, which I had prior to my diagnosis. I had already been living with them. Now, that's not always feasible for somebody, but there are maybe some different options. But in our economy as it is today, it is much easier for people to afford things with roommates or someone. Now, I'm not saying go get a roommate right away for you or your loved one without doing some serious work, some serious understanding of what rental laws are, and really taking a look at it taking a very good look at it while you're doing it for your own safety and financial security. But that is an option if you have a family member that you can move with, a son and a daughter. My children built me a room in the basement, and I have a kitchen area, bathroom area, and I have my room with closet and everything. There's some ways that things can be adjusted for people in the living situations that may even help another family member. Perhaps you have a niece or nephew who are having some financial struggles, and having you there paying what you could pay would help them out quite a bit, or them moving to your house, paying lesser utilities and rent than they're currently paying may help them. But there are ways to work it out too. So in the news, we don't know Social Security, no Social Security, food stamps, no food stamps, Medicaid, Medicare, no Medicaid and Medicare. We don't know any of these answers. Their future, you know, we don't know what that future holds. But I can tell you that it takes time if you want to file Social Security disability. It does take time for Social Security disability to go through. As I understand, it can take as long as 1 year. And that was before we lost some persons working for Social Security. So now there's fewer people processing, and it might take a time longer. What I also know is from the time you apply, you are being covered if you are approved for that year in the rear. So if you apply February 1st of 2025, but you don't get approved until February 1st of 2026, they will back pay you that year that you missed. So when I applied for Social Security, I also found out that I already had my 36 years, I believe it was, 36 years, I had already paid into Social Security. So there is a way, and I don't know a lot about it, but I could look up the information, or you could ask Mr. Google too. There is a way that you can go ahead and draw your Social Security for your retirement after you've done 30 years for the purposes of your being disabled. So there is a way. There are lots of medication costs involved. I had to have one prescription cost $8,000. I didn't pay for the prescription. There are ways that you don't have to pay those prescriptions as long as you qualify not to pay them. And if you're not working, chances are you qualify. And if you need help on that, I can help you with that. There are different ways of doing things to make things better. Now, before, you know, I would pay my part of my living, and I can't anymore. And those things have to be paid for me right now. I don't have Social Security. I don't have these different ways of doing things. So instead, I started finding different ways to save money. So I found on YouTube, you remember 10 years ago, perhaps around 10 years ago, everybody was making their own laundry soap. So I went and revisited those videos on YouTube, how to make the laundry soap, and I'm going to put a video for everyone, but mine's mixed up right now, so I don't have the components. But I looked up on YouTube how to do that, and you can as well. And I ended up making laundry soap for the 3 of us for $11. And we are on the 3rd month of using it, and we've only now used half. So that's a big savings overall from the $12 $15 we were spending in laundry soap. Doesn't seem like a lot, but 12, you know, it's $72. At 12, it's $72, and that's if you get a coupon at the time you need it. I also found a lady on YouTube that was making yogurt in a crock pot. we all like yogurt, and if we all buy an individual yogurt, I said we were paying $3 a day, 30 days a month, that's $90. So I started buying a half gallon of yogurt, plain, but that was $7, $28. And I finally ended on, oh, plus fruit. Fruit was another $20 on that. So that was $48. And I finally found a yogurt that used a crock pot because I didn't want to spend more money on appliances. And I end up making the yogurt for us. And we make it for a couple of gallons a month, 2 gallons a month. And it's super, super easy. And that yogurt with the fruit cost us about $20 a month. So that's 70 for a year is $840 in just what yogurt costs for all three of us to eat yogurt. So what I'm saying is there's little ways. I even bought the reusable sneeze and pee pads. You know, you wash them and use them again. They're great. Better than any disposable product on the market, by the way. You know, if you haven't tried them, I advise you to try them. Anyways, I paid that $12 versus $9 a month. $12 for the whole year. See? Instead of, that would be $108. So those little changes there can help with cutting your expenses. And if you're interested in having expenses cut, I can show you how to do that. I call it cost cuts. I can happily show you and do videos to show you how to do that. And I can even show you how the math actually works out in your favor. Being an only parent, you know, I learned how to make every dollar stretch to the very limit. And we had been in a point of our lives where you didn't have to do that as much. But now I have reverted back and made those little changes. Because it can be very, very difficult, but there are options. Now, if you don't want to live with a family member, there are senior housing, senior apartments, most of them, I think you have to be 50 plus. You can always talk to them and let them know that you are looking to partner with someone. You don't have to take a partner just because they found one. But there are people who are like us in the city where we live that do not have a place to live and can't afford a place to live. Like my son and daughter and I have discussed building another room so someone else like me could have very cheap rent and have a place to live with a common bathroom and a common kitchen. Because I have guilt that I am so fortunate and that I know everyone isn't. But there are ways that you can make it work. Aunt, uncle, there are different ways that you can make it work for you, that we can try to help make it work for you. I am Gen X and 55, and we are the ones that are the growing population of homelessness currently. And that has a lot to do with being ill and getting sick. But our age group is that age group that's being affected right now. So it is something you could reach out to. You could reach out to your family. You could reach out to your church, your religious leaders, and you can say, hey, I have this issue. I'm looking to be met up with someone. They don't have to be your church. It doesn't have to be your church. It can be another church. You can leave it on you can tell the neurologist. When you go to see your neurologist or your doctor or your nurse, you can say, hey, you can let them know at social services at your hospital. My hospital is the Mercy Hospital, okay? So that is my medical group is Mercy. So if they have not only my doctors and my physical therapists and stuff there, they also have social services. So you can go to the social services and talk to them. You can go talk to them at the offices. I don't know what they're called. I don't know what they're called, but the offices where you would apply for food stamps and things like that, you could go talk to them in those offices and tell them that you're looking for something. Maybe they have something that you don't know about too. So if you aren't already in a position where you've had to quit working, it is time now that you start planning what that situation is going to look like. Now, some of us with Parkinson's do not deteriorate, but some of us wake up and are done in a day. A wonderful lady I know from Poshmark, Nana June Camp, has Parkinson's. She makes beautiful jewelry. She's on Poshmark. She went into the hospital not long after her diagnosis, and she couldn't walk or talk because of her Parkinson's came in on her situation, and her body and her mind was so overstressed. A living situation and a financial situation that is not good, those will stress you as well. So it is time that you really start planning for those and look at all of your options. I fought and argued over disability for quite a while before I applied, because I'm not disabled, okay? That's what I kept saying in my head. Oh, I can do, but I literally can't. I had to go through the depression, and I had to fall down more, and I had to drop things and break it, and I had to be exhausted, and I had to be stuck in bed till I could convince myself. So this is me to convince you that you cover yourself. We don't know what the future of Social Security is going to be. Right now, I'm just going with, this is something I can do. I don't have any control over what's going to happen to it, but I'm not going to sit around and wait and find out and then wait and take forever long it takes after, suppose they say, oh, everything's great. Social Security's good. Everybody's covered. Then I apply. Well, then I still got to wait a year. So you need to go for it now. The sooner the better. I wish I had listened to my own advice, but I did not. I just really drug it out for several months, fighting against the whole situation. I wanted nothing to do with it. And that was stubborn pride versus life realities. But I have prayers for everyone that they find the right fit and the right place where to make these things work for you in your life. If there's something that you need help with, I can do my best to help you. Just put the question in the comments, and I will do my best to find an answer, or find somebody more likely, or more likely it'll even be find somebody to give you the answer that I don't have. I pray for all of your financial security. You know, the whole country is going through some unknowing circumstances, but this too will pass. We'll get through it. All of us will get through it one way or the other. Things will be okay. We always figure it out. Human, we always figure it out, and we will figure it out. So we will, I will be praying that people have security, or start thinking about their security and getting through what's next in this Parkinson's step. I appreciate everybody watching this long video. I know it's long. I appreciate you watching it. Please hit the subscribe button for more information. Share this information for anybody who has Parkinson's or dystonia or other illness that has changed the course and direction of their life. This channel is about learning and healing, and making little wins and little strives in life to change the situation, change the narrative, and give ourselves a different story. You all have a nice day or nice night. Thanks.